girls. Today we're going to talk about similes and metaphors. Now, we have talked about similes before. It was either last week or the week before. Go ahead, have a seat, get yourself comfortable. Do any of you remember what similes are?
No.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example, and then you tell me if you remember what they are. So here's an example. I was as cold as an ice cube in my classroom.
I'm still cold.
So,
I am cold. That's why I'm
I picked a good simile because it's a true one, right?
Yes.
So if I say I'm as cold as an ice cube in my classroom, what am I really saying? India.
You're super cold?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm super cold. Am I really an ice cube though? Am I really as cold as an ice cube? No, because ice cubes are frozen.
I think I know what that is.
Okay, so what are similes?
Isn't it like you say something, but it's like not true? It's just like a way of like just showing you?
Exactly. Yes, very good,
I
Lila.
learned that in my second grade class because my teacher would always say, so like he would get a call on his phone, he would say 1 second, and the whole class would count to 1. He's like, no, I was meaning like blah 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 blah. And I'm like, ah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, very good. So yeah, a lot of times we use similes in our speech and in our writing when we want to make a point. So again, if I say I'm as cold as an ice cube, I'm honestly not as cold as an ice cube, right? Because ice cubes are frozen. I'm really not frozen solid. However, I'm just trying to make the point that I'm really cold. So you're right in that it's not 100% true. So if I take the literal meaning of I'm as cold as an ice cube, then that means I am 32 degrees and I am solid frozen.
What about 1 degree?
That would still be frozen solid. So when you're talking about similes, you don't take the literal word for word meaning, okay? There's a non-literal meaning, which simply means I'm just trying to make the point that I'm really cold, okay?
Like one of the paper masks, yeah, this one's giant.
Sure, I'll get you a paper mask.
And then we put it on. I know how to fix it. You just like get it and like get the string, but you twist it, then you put it on to
Make sure you are
whenever I talk, whenever I talk, I think on Monday I'm going to put my
Put it on my desk, then you're reading
I
quietly.
think on Monday I'm going to have to keep doing it. But I think on Monday I'm just holding my like big sweater, but I'm sleeping.
All right, there you go, my dear. Okay, so let's do one more simile before we move on to our new topic today. All right, so we did I'm as cold as an ice cube. How about if we do the opposite of that? What if I say, it's as hot as the sun in here? Yeah, what were you going to say, Bella?
I was going to say it's as hot as I don't know.
Okay, it's as hot as the...
As hot as like a stove or a fire.
Excellent. It's hot as a fire, hot as the sun, hot as a stove. What were you going to say, India? So when you get to the point where you're writing similes, if you want to make a point and say that you're really cold, or you're really hot, or you're really sleepy, you can use a simile. So if you want to say that you're really hot, you want to think of the hottest thing you can think of, right? If you want to make a point and say how cold our room is sometimes, then you want to think of the coldest thing you can think of. Okay, so those are similes.
I'm as cold as 1 degree.
There you go.
I'm as cold as a snow cone.
There you go. All of those are cold. Very good.
Cold like I'm in Antarctica.
As cold as Antarctica in our room. Excellent.
I'm gonna bring my big sweater.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, though, that was a very nice review on similes. What we're going to talk about today are metaphors. Okay, now they're similar to similes. Get it? Similar to similes. But it's not exactly the same. So when you have a simile, you say, I'm as cold as, or it's like, you're comparing one thing to another. With a metaphor, you're actually saying one thing is another. Okay? For example, if I say, your desk is a pigsty, Is your desk really a place where pigs live?
Yes.
No, that would be the literal word for word meaning. If I say, Lila, your desk is a pigsty, which it is not, I'm not really saying pigs live in there. What am I saying?
It's like a mess.
Exactly. I'm simply saying your desk is a mess. Good. But the metaphor there, the difference is, instead of saying your desk is like a pigsty, I'm actually saying your desk is a pigsty. So when you have metaphors, you actually say something is something. But again, you don't take the literal meaning, right? Literal means exactly word for word. I am really not saying your desk is a home for pigs, because they'd have to be little teeny tiny pigs to fit in your desk. It would be kind of cute, but
I once saw like this newborn baby pig, and he was like that big. This is good.
all right. So let's do a few more examples with metaphors, because these are going to be a little bit harder, a little bit more new to us. So if I say, India's long golden hair was a field of swaying wheat. Am I saying she has wheat growing out of her head? No, of course not. But if I say her hair is a field of swaying wheat, what am I really trying to say about India's hair? Yes.
Blonde and pretty.
Exactly. It's blonde, it's pretty, it's flowing. But when you use a metaphor, you actually say one thing is something else. Okay?
So many people's hairs, like your hairs, like
Wavy?
yeah, like so many teachers' hair.
I don't know. Maybe when we get old, your hair gets wavy. Okay, here we go. What if I say, his dad is an ox, always lifting heavy things for people. So if I'm calling your dad an ox because he always lifts heavy things, am I really saying he's a four-legged animal with hooves? No. What am I saying in that case, Bella?
That he's like strong.
Exactly. Very good. He's very strong. So again, the difference between a simile and a metaphor. Simile is when you say something is like something else. Think of the words simile and similar. So a simile is when you say two things are similar or alike. But in a metaphor, you're actually saying something is something else. Boys and girls, you are getting too loud. Please remember, you are either taking an AR test or you are reading quietly. A little talking is okay, but definitely you should not be that loud. Thank you. Okay, so who can tell me the difference between a simile and a metaphor? Yep, go ahead.
A metaphor is something that is like what you like have to describe it as something that's in real life.
Is something, very good. So a metaphor is when you say this is this. A simile, you're still comparing two things, but you're saying one thing is like something else.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
I got confused when you were saying. Whenever like you started talking, I knew what you meant, but whenever you say it, I didn't really hear you that well because
Okay.
I have very good hearing.
Okay, so let me repeat it. So a simile is when you say something is like something else, right? If I say his desk is as messy as a pig pen, that's a simile when you say something is like something else. A metaphor is when you actually say it literally is something. If I say his desk is a pigsty, that's the metaphor. Okay? Honestly, the most important part of similes and metaphors, in my opinion, is understanding what they mean. Okay? Understanding what they mean as opposed to being able to identify it as a simile or metaphor. But that is actually what we're going to do today. We're actually going to take some similes and metaphors, and you're going to do two things with them. You're going to first, with a partner, with each other, I'll get you in partners, you're going to determine the meaning of the simile or metaphor, and then you're going to separate them between similes and metaphors, okay? Before we do that, though, we did a few examples, but all right, I want you guys to think of the biggest thing you can think of. Just wait a second, I'll call on everybody. So think of the largest thing you can think of. Okay, what do you got?
God.
Okay, what do you got?
Mansion.
A mansion, good.
The universe.
The universe.
Walmart.
Walmart, good, okay. So if you were doing your writing and you wanted to make a point and say, my pile of homework was as big as, you could say Walmart, the universe, right? Okay, so let's think the opposite now. Think of the smallest thing you can think of. Teeny tiny. Bella, what do you have?
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
Germ.
A germ.
Mosquito.
A mosquito.
That thing.
Look like a little piece of eraser dust. Okay.
Yeah.
So in your writing, if you wanted to make a point and say something is very small, if you could say, I can't believe I had to redo my paper just because there was a smudge on it. The smudge was as little as any of those things, okay? But remember, the difference between simile and metaphor, the metaphor you actually say it is something. Okay, so what I have these cards. Some are similes and some are metaphors. Turn them, how about you turn them upside down so you can't see them.
Okay.
And then you two are going to work together and you two are going to work together. So I want you to take turns. So how about Bella? Take one over, turn it over, read it, and you two discuss, is it a simile or a metaphor, and what it means. Same thing, turn one over. And India, you do the first one, but talk about it.
The teacher has a heart of gold, always treating everyone fair.
So first of all, what does that mean, India? The teacher had a heart of gold. She treated everybody kindly. What is that?
Being like really kind.
The teacher's very kind. So is it a simile or a metaphor? Is it saying the teacher is like something or actually is something? Or has something?
She was as white as a sheet when she got sick.
Simile?
What is it? Read it one more time.
The teacher has a heart of gold, always treating everyone kind.
Okay, so let's say the teacher's me. Do I really have a heart of gold? Is there a big hunk of gold inside of me? No. So that one is going to be a metaphor because it says I actually have that in me. That's the metaphor, but you did a good job understanding what it means. All right, Bella, read us one that you have placed.
She was white as a sheet when she
By
got
the
sick.
time he was
She was white as a sheet when she got sick. So first of all, tell me what that means.
It means that she was like really tan and white.
Okay, so white as a sheet. She was very light colored. Is that a simile or a metaphor? Is it comparing to white or is it saying she is?
She is.
Read it one more time for me.
My dad is an
She was as white as a sheet.
Okay. All right, so since it says she was white as a sheet, it doesn't say she was a sheet, right? So that one is going to be the simile
Yes.
because it said they're comparing her to a sheet. All right, and what is that other one? Read.
Golden long hair was a field of swing.
Oh, okay, so we did that one, right? So if that says her hair is a field of swaying wheat.
It says her golden hair was a field of swing.
Okay, so is my hair really a field of, do I have wheat on my head?
It's cool.
No, it's saying it actually is something else. So that is your clue that it's a metaphor. Okay, the simile is when you say it's like this or it's as bright as. The metaphor is when you actually say it is something. Okay? All right. Lila, can you read me one that you placed?
Well, this one is I don't understand this.
All right, go ahead and read it. I'll help you out.
The toddler is stubborn.
Stubborn.
Stubborn as a mule.
The toddler is as stubborn as a mule. First of all, what are they trying to say in that? What are they trying to say about the child?
Like the toddler is really stubborn.
Yeah, just saying really stubborn. You know what a toddler is, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 years old.
I used to be a toddler.
All of us used to be toddlers,
I
correct?
loved it because I would get to go to preschool and then I would get to sleep all day.
Okay, so my question then is that a simile or a metaphor? Does that sentence say the toddler is a mule? Or does it say is like a mule or as stubborn as? Damani and Cameron and Milton, you need to have a seat. You've been over there too long. You're not using your time appropriately. Only if it's an emergency. Is it an emergency?
Packing my book on my backpack.
Yes, that's not an emergency. All right, tell me again, simile or metaphor?
A book is a key.
Yes, because it says as stubborn as. It doesn't say that he actually is a mule. All right. Do any of you do you have questions on any of them? Are you not sure? You doing okay? All right, Bella, go ahead and do another one.
A book is a key unlocking the imagination in your mind.
Read it one more time.
A book is a key unlocking the imagination in your mind.
All right, a book is a key to the imagination of your mind. Okay, so first of all, what is it saying?
It's saying that it's like reading is making you smarter as you read.
Excellent. Yes, it's okay. Simile or metaphor? Does it say the book is a key or is it like a key?
It's like a key.
Okay, so if it has that word like, is it going to be a simile or a metaphor? Simile, right, good. Metaphor means if it says a book is a key. That's the metaphor, when it says something is something else.
It's like the is this, like magic word.
Exactly, yes. Is like the magic word. Is or like or as. Excellent.
I like them.
All right, how we doing? Question? Which one are you on, India? Okay.
A book is a key unlocking the imagination in your mind.
So first, what is it saying? A book is a key, locking the imagination. What do you think? First of all, what is it trying to say? What's the non-literal meaning? Is the book really a key that you put in a door to open?
No.
No. So that's the literal meaning. We're talking about the non-literal meaning. Let's see it again. It says, yes, it says a book is a key. Is a book really a key? No. So that makes it a metaphor. But what does it mean?
Metaphor?
What are they trying to say if they're saying a book is a key?
It helps you. Yeah, it's a metaphor.
Mm-hmm. India?
Like it is a key, like it. They're trying to say like it is a key.
What does a key do?
Key like goes into a lock or something,
Mm-hmm. And then you turn it and what happens?
and then it opens.
Exactly. So you use a key to open something, whether it's a door or a box. And they're saying, what they're saying is a book is like a key, but this key opens up imagination in in your mind. So they're saying a book is like a key because it opens up your imagination.
And always look like a computer.
That's simple. Like I think the light bulb when she heard the good news. Emily lit up when she her bracelet flipped. Emily lit up like a light bulb when she heard the good news. Was a memory reflecting everything around.